Hello and welcome to your empowering yoga practice. Today's peak pose will be Garudasana or eagle pose to symbolize balance, freedom, and courage. When you are ready, you can make your way onto your back body laying on your mat. Step your feet to about mat width apart and then let your knees tent in towards each other. Just settling in and taking a few breaths for yourself. Noticing the rise and fall of your breath. You might like to reach the arms overhead, just for a gentle opening across the shoulders and the heart space. Take a moment to envision an eagle soaring through the air, the embodiment of freedom. Become like that eagle, riding the flow of your breath, becoming one. Take a cleansing breath here. Fill all the way up in through the nose. Open the mouth and let it go. Bring your elbows down, cactusing through the arms. Gently open the knees away from each other and drop them over towards the right side of your mat. Gently pressing that left knee towards the bottom right corner of your mat and bring your gaze over to the left. Notice the sensations through the top of the thigh, across the hip and into the side body. Slight squeeze to the core to pick up the knees and drop them over towards the left, turning your gaze to the right. Tune into your breath. Full inhale, feel the belly rise, the chest and ribs expand. And a full breath out, finding a little bit of restriction. Begin to lift the knees back through center. And take it back over to the right. Gaze comes back to the left. This time extend long through the left arm, reaching it high. Deepening that stretch. Lift the knees back through center. Pull that left elbow back down. Bring the knees to the left and the right arm extends this time. Turn your gaze over to the side. Lift the knees up through center. Pull the right elbow back down. Drop the knees to the right. Inhale back through center. And exhale left. Step the feet flat down to the mat, reach the arms overhead. Bring the chin to the chest, breathe in and start to arch through the low back, lifting the spine off the mat. With your exhale, press the low back to the mat, lift the chin, reaching fingers high. We'll do this a couple more times. Inhale, arch the belly up, chin to chest. Exhale, completely pressing the low back to the mat, lift the chin and the gaze. Inhale, chin to chest, lift the back. Exhale, press down. Bring your arms back down to your sides. Take a gentle breath in. And a breath out to hug your knees in towards your chest, wrapping your hands around shins or hamstrings. Settling the feet back down, but having the heels closer towards the glutes. See if you can tickle your ankles. Pick the tailbone up off the mat, lifting up through the spine vertebrae by vertebrae. Just feeling a stretch into the tops of the thighs, nothing too intense into the low back quite yet. With your exhale, lower vertebrae by vertebrae back down to the mat. We'll do this again. Press down through the feet, lift through the tailbone, the low back, the mid back. This time, if you'd like, you can wiggle the shoulders underneath you, interlace the fingers under the hips, and press up to the sky. Full belly breathing here. With an exhale, gently release the fingers, starting with the shoulders and then the low back, and then lastly the tailbone back down to the mat. Once more here, inhale, pick up. Choose whichever variation you'd like more, either the arched back or just that stretch into the tops of the thighs. Follow your exhale back down to the mat. Hug your knees into your chest and begin to curl yourself into a tight little ball, lifting your head and shoulders off the mat towards your knees. Option to roll all the way up into a seat, or you can come over onto your side body and make your way into a tabletop position. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, and find yourself in a downward facing dog. Give yourself a few steady breaths here. Finding strength and stillness. Bending the knees, look up to the hands. Make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale the hands to the shins, halfway lift. Exhale to fold over the legs. Vertebrae by vertebrae, roll up to stand, mountain pose. Flip the palms forward and ground down. Take a freeing breath in and a freeing breath out. Sweep the arms up overhead, then bend the elbows, cactus the arms, opening across the heart space. Inhale, reach the fingers high. Exhale, back into the cactus. Containment into the belly, breathe in. Breathe out, pull the elbows down and hold. Lifting the heart and the chest. Take an inhale. With your exhale, round forward, bringing the elbows towards each other. Inhale to open back up, cactus, find the back bend. And exhale, curl back in. One more time, inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up overhead, lift the gaze. Exhale, fold all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back into a plank here. Openings between the shoulder blades, firm up through the thighs, the fingers, one long line of energy. Shift the weight to the shoulders beyond the wrists, slowly lower down Chatarunga. Untuck the toes, lift the heart, baby cobra or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, come over through tabletop and lift up into a downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. Bend the knees, lift the heels, and make your way to the top of your mat, coming right away into a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Breathe in to sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Now, if you do have a block, feel free to use it here, placing it to the outside of your right foot. Then arriving back into your mountain pose, creating a connection between the mat and your right foot. Inhale, sweep the arms up high, reaching them overhead. Exhale, sink almost into a chair pose. Finding a bind with the arms, bring the right arm out in front of you and place the left elbow into the right. Then wrap either for the palms, or if that's not comfortable, reaching for opposite shoulder. From here, lift the left heel off the ground, then see if you can cross that left thigh on top of the right. Feel free to tap the toes over onto the block, or you can wrap it all the way around the right leg and around the calf. It's okay to fall out, just squeezing the limbs together, cutting off circulation, creating this beautiful balance. Inhale to straighten through that right leg, uncross the left, and then step those toes all the way behind you, finding a warrior one. Breathe in, lift the fingers up high. Breathe out, forward fold, bringing the right shoulder to the inside of the right knee. Inhale to lift the heart back up. Exhale to surrender forward, reaching the fingers away from you. Inhale to rise. Exhale to fold. And we'll power up into that right leg and come up into a chair pose at the top of your mat, stepping the left foot beside the right. Keep lifting through those elbows. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release the arms. Sweep them up high. Come up to stand. Exhale, hands through heart. Fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down. Plant to the hands. Step your feet back into your plank. And slowly lower down through your Chatarunga. Elbows glued to your sides. Untuck the toes, take baby cobra or cobra pose. Exhale, over the knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come up onto the toes, make your way up to the top of your mat. Right away, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink the hips down low, preparing for eagle on the other side. Find the bind here. Bring the left arm out in front of you and the right arm inside the left elbow. Please do the opposite of what I'm doing in this video. I made a mistake and did the wrong one, but just make sure that the right leg crosses over the left and the left arm crosses in on top of the right. Create that connection between the thighs and the arms, squeezing the core, maybe sinking the hips down lower. Breathe in to straighten through that left leg and send that right leg up and around and back into your warrior one. Inhale to lift the fingers up high. Exhale to forward fold, left elbow inside the left knee. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe into that space between the shoulder blades. Inhale to rise, last one here. Exhale to surrender. Firm up through that left leg. Breathe in, step the right foot forward, come into your chair. Inhale. And exhale. Release the arms, rise up. Maybe gentle back bend. Exhale, hands through heart, forward fold. Moving through a flow here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step into your plank. Option for upward facing dog here. Hug your elbows to your sides, lower 90 degrees. Flip onto the tops of the feet and lift the heart. Keep the thighs and knees off the mat. Come into your downward facing dog, giving yourself a full round of breath. And letting it go. Bend the knees, step, or maybe hopping up to the top of your mat into your half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to your heart. If you need a moment here to just breathe or to take a sip of water, please feel free. I was feeling all sorts of emotions during that part of the flow. So if you were with me, just honor and appreciate the power of your breath and movement. When you're ready, come back into your mountain pose. Sweep the arms up overhead, palms touch. And exhale, bend the elbows, finding that cactus back bend. Gently release the hands behind the low back, interlacing them into a fist, squeezing the core as much as you can here to protect the spine as you press the knuckles down the thighs. Lead with the heart to forward fold. Option to lift the hands away from the low back, finding a deep stretch across the shoulders and the chest. Bend the elbows, release the hands, and sweep them forward as you drop the hips down into a chair. Soften through the shoulders, then exhale, bend the elbows, cactus in your chair. Inhale to reach the fingers back up. Exhale to plant the hands forward fold and step back with the left foot coming into a low lunge. Untuck the toes and release the knee down to the mat. Allow yourself a moment to just settle into the hips, and when you're ready, you can bring the hands to the top of the right thigh, maybe pressing the hips down lower. Inhale, reach the fingers high. Exhale, find that cactus back bend. Inhale. Exhale. Release the hands behind the back, finding that fist behind the hips. Another back bend, opening across the heart, squeeze the core. Tuck the toes, and then finding a tricky transition here, start to straighten through that right leg and fold the heart down towards the thigh. Keep the toes tapped down for balance, or maybe come up onto the heel, pulling the right toes to the face. Find your breath and your center. And slowly release the right foot down to the mat. Sweep the fingers forward and up. Exhale to melt the heart down. Tuck the back toes and step forward back into your chair pose. Exhale, find the cactus back bend. Inhale, reach them high. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands and step the right foot back. Untuck the toes. Finding that low lunge on the left side. Make your way with your hands to the top of the thigh, pressing the hips down low, feeling this stretch. Inhale, the fingers reach forward and up, maybe lifting the gaze. Exhale, cactus the arms here, bending into the elbows and lifting the heart. Breathe into this vast expanse across the chest. And exhale, hands into the fist behind you. Press the fingers down that right thigh. Maybe keeping a gentle tuck to the chin. Tuck the back toes and find that transition into half split. Keep the fingers behind you if you can. Start to straighten through the left leg. Open across the heart as you fold towards the mat. Option to pull the left toes to and away from your face. Breathe in and breathe out. Release the hands, step the left foot down, firm up through that leg, and step forward all the way to the top of your mat, stepping right foot beside the left into your chair. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, sweep the fingers high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the hands. Step back to your plank and lower through your vinyasa. Shoulders beyond the wrists, elbows glued to your sides. Untuck the toes for baby cobra, or maybe finding upward facing dog. Exhale over the knees and come into a child's pose. Big toes come to touch. Melt the heart over the thighs, either reaching the fingers forward or grabbing onto opposite elbows. Breathing in and out. Connecting body and breath. We will find rabbit pose next. Bring your knees towards each other and press the top of your head down close towards your knees. Reach your arms back around the legs for your ankles or your feet and start to lift the hips away from the heels, ever so gently adding a tiny amount of pressure onto the crown of the head. Feeling this intense stretch into the shoulders and the neck, only moving as gently and as far as feels good. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out to release. Drop the hips to the heels, roll up to sit with the shoulders stacked on top of the hips. And just observe any sensations. Take a couple shoulder rolls here, bringing them in one direction and then shifting them into the other. We'll take one of my favorite side bend stretches. Come to sit onto your right hip with your knees facing the long side of the mat. Allow your legs to fall comfortably, planting down through the right hand either close or far away from your hip. Take full breaths here. You can stay in this variation, or you can sit up a little bit more, grabbing the left hand for the shin or the ankle. Then reach the right fingers up to the sky, leaning over towards the left. Breathing deep into the right side body. And exhale, place the hand back down, swing the legs around you so that you come to sit onto your left hip this time, knees point in front of you. Left hand is your anchor, just breathing here. Or you can sit the hips up a little bit more. Left hand reaches for the shin or ankle, and the left fingers reach up overhead. And gently release. And make your way into a comfortable seated position. And gently release your chin towards your chest. Let your head become heavy. Pull the shoulders down. And inhale, lifting the chin and letting the head fall back. And bring your head back to neutral and drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Lifting through center, exhale to the left. Inhale through center, and exhale, maybe closing the eyes and just taking a breath. When you're ready, you can lower yourself down onto your back body, settling with the feet flat to the mat, the knees to the sky. Then cross the right thigh over top of the left. Reach the left arm in front of you and find the eagle bind, bringing your right elbow inside the left. Take an inhale, reach the fingers away. And exhale, curl into a little ball, knees and elbows crunch towards each other, bring your chin to chest. Inhale to release, shoulders and foot back to the mat. And exhale, find the crunch. Inhale to expand. Exhale to curl in. Hold for a moment. And gently release. Unbind the arms, open them into a cactus, and drop your knees over towards the left, keeping that bind into the legs. Your gaze can come over to the right and take full belly breaths. Squeeze the core to bring the knees back through center and release them from the bind. We'll take it to the other side. The left leg crosses over the right. Bring the right arm in front of you and then place the left elbow inside the right. Finding the bind, either your palms or your shoulders. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Crunch knees to elbows. Round the chest in. Inhale to expand. And exhale to curl in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Curl it in. Release. Arms back into the cactus. And then bring the knees over to the right. Let yourself settle in as you turn your gaze to the left. Gentle squeeze to the core. As you root down through the right foot and lift the knees, unbind them here. Bring the soles of the feet to touch and open the knees like a book. Place the right hand onto the belly, left hand onto the heart. Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclined cobblers pose. Returning to that image of an eagle flying through a sky. See if you can feel the breeze, the flow of your breath, allowing a sense of freedom, balance, and courage to fall over you. If you would like a longer Shavasana, please feel free to stay here. Otherwise, rocking and rolling along the spine or coming over onto the side body so you can make your way into a seat where we'll close off our practice. We'll take one last final breath in gratitude together. Inhale, sweep the arms up high, palms touch. And exhale, bring your hands down into your heart space. The light in me sees, acknowledges, and honors the light in you, and knows that they are the same. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. I hope you enjoyed it, and that I'll see you again soon.